So my name is Jessie Maisano. I am the manager of the University of Texas High Resolution X-ray CT facility, or UTCT. I have been here since 2000, came straight as a postdoc from graduate school, and I have gotten to see all sorts of interesting specimens come through the lab during my 25 years here. So we scan for the general public as well as for academic researchers and commercial clients. We scan everything. CT that we do is similar to medical CT, except that it is industrial strength, so we don't scan living objects because they wouldn't be living for very long. But we use higher energy X-rays and we scan for longer so we can penetrate denser samples than medical CT can, like meteorites and fossils and things like that. So we can image objects up to almost 1/2 meter in diameter and 3/4 of a meter in height, down to the size of a human hair. So there aren't a lot of specimens in the natural history world that we can't image in our lab. So the specimen that is the most memorable for me and probably for everybody else in the lab is Lucy. Lucy was discovered in 1974. She, at the time, was the oldest and most complete, somewhere on the direct line to human ancestry specimen, and she is arguably the most famous fossil in the world. She is 3.2 million years old, and in the period of about 2006 to 2010, she actually toured the US, going through major natural history museums on exhibit, which was very controversial that the physical specimen traveled and not just a cast, because she is that precious. But she toured without incident. Between her visits at the Natural Science Museum in Houston, and I believe she went to Seattle after that, she came here under cover of darkness. Nobody knew except for those who had to, for 2 weeks for security reasons, so that we could scan every element of her skeleton. And so she was in the basement at the Jackson School for those 2 weeks. We had an armed police officer stationed in our entryway 24/7, even though our doors are always locked. Those of us who work in the lab had to sign in and out every time we went to the bathroom. It was kind of crazy. And we were all on pins and needles the entire time that she was here. But again, the world's most valuable, important fossil. And so it was all worth it. Although I will say we've never been so happy to see a specimen leave the lab as Lucy, in the same condition in which she arrived. And so those data are tricky data. They have a lot of artifacts because she's a fossil and she has some specific artifacts related to fossils. But the first paper came out in 2016. The lead author was John Kappelman, formerly, he's emeritus now, of anthropology here at UT. And unlike previous studies of Lucy where the focus was where is she on the tree of human evolution, or how did she locomote, was she upright, was she knuckle walking, what was she doing? It was cause of death, and that's because the CT scan revealed a very specific kind of fracture in her upper arm bone. And this is a 3D printout of Lucy's upper arm bone, the humerus, based on our CT data. And so what you might notice is that instead of this being a nice curved ball, it's been smushed. And so this is a very specific type of fracture called a rapid deceleration event fracture. So rapid deceleration event means you're going, and then you're not. And so there are two major ways that happens in modern times. One is a car accident. You are traveling at high speed, you put your arms out, bracing for an accident, drives your humerus up into your shoulder joint. The other one is falling from a great height. Again, you fall, put your arms out, drives your humerus up. And so this fracture, John Kappelman actually had these printouts made, scaled Lucy up to modern human size because Lucy was only about 3 feet tall, and took this printout around to orthopedic surgeons and said, what happened to this person? Didn't tell them anything else about the specimen, and they all said it was a rapid deceleration event. So Lucy's 3.2 million years old, pretty confident it was not a car accident. So that indicates a fall from a great height. And the environment in which Lucy lived, we know, didn't have cliffs or things like that, so she probably fell out of a tree. And so the hypothesis that arose from this analysis was that Lucy nested high in trees like modern chimps do. And so that's probably my favorite story of all the stories from UTCT.